G'day, I'm Stephen Spry, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Today, we're going to have a look at player ownership. So much going on with that, and I accidentally discovered that I've been using it quite a lot in my latest maps, so I've got a confession to make. Sorry. Yeah, it's a wow. It's a rabbit hole, that stuff, I tell you, but an essential rabbit hole that you probably should know about. So let's have a look at my latest Bluebell map, because I think that should be enough to, where is it? There we go. Oh, by the way, Fenlands, yes. Capital City River, yes. Camden Heaven, yes. All of those maps that I've just released are now available vanilla for console people. So enjoy. But in the meantime, I want to get rid of that, and I want to enable the advanced statistics mod, not a model, just to show you what's going on here. Oh dear. Right. So, player ownership. Yeah. Now, the idea of player ownership is that when you build roads, there's a little checkbox down in the corner you can tick for those new roads that you can claim player ownership. Now, there's a mistaken view that player ownership stops the AI from doing stuff. Well, it does, and it doesn't. So today, I want to tell you all about what player ownership actually does and why I use it on all my maps, and why you should think about using it as well. There's also some downsides to it as well. Quite a few. Oh, no, sorry, not quite a few. Wrong. Only one. One big one. But here we go. Advanced statistics. Welcome back to SA Spry Transport. That's me, Stephen Spry, the Transport Fever guy. Well, one of them. There are two of us from down under. Let's have a look at edge and street. And in here, you'll see that we've got 486 kilometres of road, of streets. Player owned, on this particular map, 161 kilometres worth, 33% of the map is player owned. My God, why? Well, let's have a look at this area, for example, right here. Yeah, okay. These lakes are painted, and I don't want the AI coming in and stuffing them up. So, if we click on the Tools button here, and that one, you'll see that that road that runs straight through the middle of the lakes there is player-owned. Because I don't want the AI building roads off of it, which is possible. Probably not really probable, however, because it's so far away from a town. It's really only around the towns where the AI takes control. Out in the middle of whoop whoop like this, maybe not. But I don't want a street running up the middle of my painted lake, thank you very much. So that's why that one's blue. I've got a lot of others around here that are blue. These are railway lines. And this is the way I mark them on my maps, so that the AI doesn't say, hey, I want that. I want to use that road. Yeah. It's a street. You know it's a street because you can't do rail tracks on maps. So I mark them like this so the AI can't take them over. But meanwhile, back around the town, you see I've got control over these roads, and it comes right down to this creek, fake creek here, because I don't want the AI building streets across or around anywhere near this creek. So that's the purpose of doing it, to control what the AI does. So let's have a look at what this control means. Right. If I have a town road, any of those, right, and I tick that box there, right, and build a town road, let's just drop it through here. What has that achieved? Right. First up, the AI can still build houses or commercial buildings or industrial buildings along that road, right? That still happens with town roads. If I was to turn this into a country road, the AI does not build buildings on country roads. Right, remember that. So, let's put that one back to a town road. Thank you. Now, so it can build buildings on that. Yes, we could have houses and shops and industry, but what it won't do is let the AI come along and go, oh, I'd like to have a road there, please. No, can't happen, because you own that road. The AI cannot change the road to join another road. It cannot upgrade the road if it wants to, and you'll see a lot of roads in towns as the game progresses. Where are we? Here. A lot of these roads in towns, when they're not player-owned, get upgraded to a different surface, a different width. We'll have new streets coming off them, perhaps, right? I might say, let's whack a street through here. No, can't do it, baby. Can't do it. I want to bring one down here. AI, you can't do it. You're not allowed. But I want to build more houses. Bad luck. See? That's the main purpose of player ownership. Better turn that sound down because I'm probably deafening you with echoes. So there we go. That's what it's for. Let's have a little look at that tool again. Player ownership tool. Right. So all the blue ones are player owned, and most of them, as you'll see, is this really long one here, here. These are how I mark my railroads. But here's a painted reservoir. And the last thing you want to do is to let the AI take control of this one and build something up the middle of your reservoir. So that's why these ones near the reservoirs are on me, please. Especially with this sexy reservoir here. Yeah, I don't want anything built on that damn wall. The chances are pretty slim because all of these are country roads and they're miles away from the nearest town. Remember, well, you've got that town well and truly covered, haven't you? Ashurst Wood. Yes. Well, I didn't want the AI taking control of any of that. Thank you very much. And over here at Forest Row, let's limit what it can do here too. Can't do much over there, so I'm not really worried about it. But come back over to East Grinstead and you'll see everything in the town, pretty much, is player owned. Because I draw these maps, I create these maps from the hysterical 1890s actual maps of the period. So this was the actual street layout in the late 1890s. So I've got my railway line protected coming down through here. And the other thing you'll notice is that, let's find a good example of this, please. Where's there a level crossing? That's a bridge. That's a bridge. That's a bridge. That's a level crossing right there. You'll notice that I don't actually join that up with any of the existing road network, because if I did, sure as eggs, the horses and carts are going to use it. But by keeping them separate and by making them player-owned, the AI can't say, oh, I'd like a street here, please. Not like that. I'd like a street here, please. So that's one reason why I do it. The other reason I do it, depending on how close we are to towns, is here, over these painted, well, they're not painted, they're dry rivers. But if this bit here wasn't player-owned, I guarantee you the AI would want to build a street up there and make it look ugly, same as this. So that's why I use them. Now here, I've got a ring around this particular area. I've got a lot of non-player owned roads in the middle, and the AI technically could still decide to add something from here over to here or from here to... It can't add anything that way because it's not allowed to join onto that. Right? Okay. So, we've got this one, player owned, yes. Now remember, that one allows the AI to put buildings along there, but not do that. Okay. The same thing with the player-owned country road. No buildings at all, and none of that. Okay? 100% as it appears. Too much for me to worry about, isn't it? All right, look. We'll just let this map run a little ways and get rid of all of that. Okay. So the idea was basically, where are we? Come back to you, please. Is just to control. Look, if you weren't too worried about what's going to happen inside the town of Lingfield, for example, we could quite easily just do that, right? And boom! As soon as I did it, see what happened then? The AI said, "Thank you. I'm going to build a street there." Okay. So, if you're not concerned about what goes on inside a town, you could put a ring around the outside and let the AI go berserk on the inside. But me no like that. I want control. No, I don't. I just want sort of semi-hysterical. Look, you can come in here later at any stage. Here's another one, Dorman's Land. We could probably get rid of that one. And that one. And probably even that one. I really don't want it spreading. Oh, look, boom. There we go, straight across the middle. The AI says, thank you. Okay. So I use it to protect waterways. Like, I didn't do it there. Well, some waterways. Okay, just protect the big dam. Protect the hysterical nature of this whole area. I don't want the AI doing stuff in there yet. Maybe later. Okay, let's just see what happens when I do this. Okay, we'll undo all of that in there, and look what it's doing to my hysterical map of the town. It's just taken it over completely. Okay, it's already added streets in there and so on. It's going to do all sorts of stuff, and don't necessarily like that. Yeah, look, it's going berserk up here. So, don't want that. As I said, you can come in later and use this tool here. It's available under the road menu, Tools, Player Ownership Tool, and just click on any that you don't want to be player owned anymore. Right. Why this? Well, I didn't want the AI claiming a nice little road out in the bush. So, no, not going to happen, baby. Not going to happen. Over here, yeah, well, I want to control where forest row spreads. And I thought, maybe if all of this is player owned, are they normal streets? Yes, they are. Okay, so if the town is going to grow, it has to grow along these streets that are already here. Okay? Well, that's the plan. Don't know if it's going to work, but never mind. Where's another one that I really wanted to show you? Yeah, Horsted Canes. Here we go. Now, this one's a little bit interesting. We've got some painted lakes through here, and a river runs up there. I don't want the AI sprouting anything to cross that river. So that's why that one's player-owned, and this is all player-owned back into the town. In fact, I don't really want the town spreading this way at all, but if you do want to allow the town to spread a little, do that. Boom. it spreads. That's what it does. But by having this ring out here, it keeps it away from this beautiful little river scene that I've got here. Yeah, okay. And no, it's got no water in it or anything like that, but hey, these rivers don't run deep all year long, do they? So there we go. What I want to look at, though, is over here in the costs. And this is the problem. We've done nothing in this game, remember? We haven't built any infrastructure. We haven't bought any vehicles. And yet our bank balance is already down to 8.1 million. Why? Why? Look, here's why. Maintenance roads. Yep. That, sorry, I'll bring that back up. That, where is it? 161 kilometres of player-owned roads. In this case, thanks to the advanced statistics mod, costs $758,000 every accounting period. Cost you, straight up your bank balance. That's what I'm sorry about. I've done 2 more maps since this one, and instead of having, 32%, actually 33.2% is where I started. 161 kilometres. I've already changed. Already lost 6 kilometres. So let's have a little look at this. Let's stop it for a sec. Yeah, the 2 maps that I've done since, I have reduced the amount of player ownership on them, and using this principle, this stuff out here, it's far enough away from the town. I'm going to have to get rid of that because that slows the game down while we're looking at it. Okay, I am going to... This is the railway. And we can get rid of... use the shift key. If we do that, and then come over this side and start there, using the shift key helps me stop it. Right. Come over the other side. Where the roads are, that's what's going to get taken over. So come there, click, and then, oh yeah, look, that'd be right. Okay, doesn't like me. That's why I have the build anything mod in place. Okay, we'll come over to the end of the bridge and make all of that. I'll leave that because it's in town, but we'll come from there and work out and back up to about here, I'd say. These tracks that I've got on this side of there, we could turn off player ownership because it's not going to come past here, is it? No, the AI will not. As we come out of town this way, let's start there and come into, there, that edge of the bridge, right? Because we're near a town, I'm leaving that alone. I'm going to come up to here and then come along. How far along? Oh, we've got a station there. Looks like it. And by getting rid of... all right. And I haven't got any in there. Okay, that's fine. These backcountry roads. Don't need them. They're not near a town. So we could just carefully stop the player ownership, half a mile out of town or something like that. That road, I thought, I better leave that protected because it's around a dam. But the reality is it's nowhere near a town, so it's probably fine. This railway line that comes down here, right, we'll stop it just outside of town and then come down, zoom in, Stephen. Zoom in, baby. Okay. Okay, so what are you doing here? I'm just demonstrating that if we reduce the amount of player ownership, well, you don't really need all of that. Yeah, not understanding what quite happened there. That looked a bit weird, didn't it? And there too, for that matter. If you've got any major constructions around like this, with all of this sort of stuff happening, you might like to protect that with player ownership as well, although I don't think, yeah, famous last words, I don't think AI will take that over there. Hopefully it won't jump over to that one. I can't do much with horsted canes, but I can continue with the railway line down here. Right, and why am I doing this? To save money, to save on that road maintenance. We can come all the way in here because there's no AI town around here. The only spot I need to be worried about it down here is near this. So we'll stop it there. Okay. And one of the reasons I've done this in Newark too, if the game were to continue, you'll see this one will grow. It's not player owned, and it's not player owned there, so it can jump out that way or this way. I didn't want Newark to look dodgy with streets going at wrong angles to all these field boundaries or something like that. That's the sort of thing. Up to you. Decide what you like. That can all be player owned. That bit out there, I'm protecting a bridge. Does it really matter? No, not really. I've done this a lot on other maps with these bridges and the dry creeks, and basically if they're not near town, they've never been built over, so I probably don't need to worry about it. So, whoops, that'll do. Pax Hill, don't go any further. So just cruise over the map, keep that. Don't want the cricket ground and those lakes affected. No. So you can reduce the amount of player ownership. Now that one, it's a country road that flows down there alongside that river. Country road, no buildings. Otherwise there'd be buildings out halfway across the river. Right, even though we've got the township ones and it can build up there for Chelwood Common. I'd be interested to see whether it decides to sprout off up this way. I'll help it. So yeah, just keep going around doing this sort of stuff. What have we got? Nothing in all through up here. Not really. No, we could probably let Dorman's land spread that way. These are here to stop it spreading out onto this estate, onto this farm. Again, up to you. This one is some sort of racetrack showground area for you to possibly develop, and that's why that track around this area is reserved. This one, maybe not so much. Okay, so all I'm doing is simply saving money. Let's have a little look. We were on how many thousand? Just keep going, please, with the money. Let's quadruple time. Right, we were on, where are we? 33.2% when we started. We are now down to 31.4. No, we're not. We're down to 22.2. Right, so this 758,000, I think we've saved a third of that. That'd be good, because as I found out, trying to just testing this map, I was going broke. It was killing me, absolutely killing me. I was trying to set up, where's East Grinstead? Here we go. I was simply trying to set up some profitable lines from the farm to here, from the stone to here, and delivering it in. And it was killing me, baby. But $758,000 in early game, that's a lot of money to make. So, yeah. All right. I had, I think, 5 different attempts. I had stone and food coming in here, and going back to Ashurst Wood, and food to East Grinstead, and I had planks coming into there and going back to the machines factory. So I had the return loads happening. It's just, wow. All right, what are we doing? You should have changed by now. Oh, look, give it a chance. Put the clock on if you want to. All right, I'll put the clock on just so we can see it ticking over at normal speed. Yeah, it was, there we go, ticking over at beautiful speed, 292. All right, so the objective this time is to get this hopefully down around 500. It's not going to be enough. It's still going to be a killer. It's going to be really hard still for you to make money. But I do have a couple of tricks up my sleeve, depending on how you like to play the game. When you first launch the game, before you launch the game, not when, before you launch the game, in the game settings, there are some sliders that you can adjust for maintenance of vehicles and maintenance of infrastructure, and you can slide them right back to 50% so that you can save money on those two. Is that cheating? Well, not when this is going to be 750k. And even so, when I slid it back, it was still damn hard to make money. So, what else can you do? Well, there's a low costs, in the game itself. Let's have a quick look. We'll just pretend to load it. You can see here's all the ones. Forget Borderlands, Bluebell Railway, blah 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 blah. They're all the ones that I tried. Keep going. I tried all of these. I ran them all for 10 years just to see, and wow. But hang on, Bluebell Railway test run. Let's just, no costs. That's the guy. The no costs mod. If you have no costs enabled, then you get nothing. No costs. No cost to buy anything, no cost to maintain anything. Brilliant. Some people don't like that though, because this is, a tycoon game. It's a bit of a cheat, huge cheat. Want another cheat? There's another mod called no maintenance costs. Because the no costs mod means it doesn't cost you anything to buy vehicles or buy buildings or do anything. No costs. Everything's free. There is a no costs mod that simply cuts down on maintenance. Zeros it. You can try that if you like. Or a combination of reducing these guys by 50% and going around. Come on, hurry up. Are we done there yet? We're not. It's still taking its sweet little time, isn't it? Yeah. Come on, tick it over. Let's go. I want to show you the 2 maps that I'm working on. I think they're great. I haven't been doing much on YouTube for a while because I've been concentrating on this. I went back through all of my old maps. Got a big list of them here. Big list. Even way back when I did Northumbria, I had 23% of the roads there as player owned, with 190k every accounting period. I didn't realise it at the time. In fact, the only person that has ever said anything about player ownership was a bloke made a comment on that particular map. Oh, you lot of player ownership there, matey. Is that good or bad? I didn't know. This is years ago now. What else have we got? The ones I've just read. Oh, Newcastle. Did you know that's 100% player-owned roads on my Newcastle map? 2.3 million every time instead of, there we go, we've got it down to 533,000. What's this investments lurk? What the hell happened there? Did that cost me money? It did. Wow. Best you do that in the sandbox then, before you start playing the map with no costs on, so that you don't have to pay the... Oh, whatever. I just wanted to make you aware that it's a significant thing, like the Newcastle, 100% vanilla. Sorry, Newcastle map, 100% player-owned. 1,100 kilometres is worth 2.3 million every accounting period. The Brisbane, capital city, river one I did, 100% player-owned, 1.389 thousand kilometres of roads, $11.7 million per quarter. Okay, let's talk about Camden Heaven, 99.7, and I cannot find the 0.3% anywhere on the map, so I don't know where that went, but that's 413 kilometres, is 2.1 million a quarter. Yeah. Yep. Vandamonia, our little app, Tassie, and a lot of that is protected through that south-west corner because of all the painted lakes and the rivers and everything else. But 23% for 54.5 kilometres for 150k. So essentially, it's $3 a kilometre. Is that what you're telling me? Or is it 3,000? No, that's 3,000 a kilometre. It's bloody expensive, this stuff. But anyway, are we still going? Oh, yeah, we're still going. Sorry. Yeah, 533. Let's have a look at... Wait, before you do that, you've got another map to look at. Fenlands. Again, these are the historical maps where I'm trying to preserve the towns that were there in the 1890s. Oh, sorry. Along with the railway lines to make sure the AI doesn't take them over, right? Which is why I've got so much Fenlands. 41%, 209 kilometres, 640k every accounting period. Now you know it's there, though. There are various things you can do about it. The easiest thing is, okay, it costs you money. I'm sorry. The easiest thing to do is to come in and just tick these things over. Just turn them off. Depends how much you want to worry about being hysterically correct. I don't suppose it really matters, does it? It's just a game. It's just a starting point. But every time you turn one of these off, you're saving $3,000 per kilometre. So, yeah, maybe. Are we there yet? Oh, look, we'll never get there at this rate. Let's have a little look at the two new maps that you're doing. Oh, yes, please. Okay, I'm going to quit to the main menu. Right. And I'm going to free game. I'm going to play map. And the first one I'm playing is GWR Country. You betcha, baby. GWR, Greater Western Railroad. Stat. Istix. Let's turn you on and have a little look. And turn all of this other crap off. I don't want that. Thank you. Now, while I'm here, this is what I meant. Turn them down. Turn the maintenance and maintenance infrastructure for vehicles down to 50%. That'll save you some money on those costs. Doesn't do a damn thing, however, for the road maintenance with player ownership. But ho-hum. All right, GWR. We're going to have a look at another one called Borderlands shortly. But let's have a little look at this fella. And both of these are large vanilla. Sorry, this one's a vanilla map. The Borderlands one isn't, because it's been for something special. Van Ham Gaming and I are going to be doing something with Borderlands together, a collaboration. That'll be fun. It's going to be crazy. Oh dear. Hurry up! Why does it take so long? It's only a small vanilla file. Goodness. Probably because you're on a Mac. Don't pick on my Mac. Sorry. Wouldn't dream of it. Coffee time while we wait for this. Great. Mouthful of cold coffee. Oh, yuck. All right. Quick look. 7%. Right? So I've trimmed this right down, but I've deliberately left a bit over here. Ooh, what's that? That is part of the Greater Union Canal. It's painted on, but with that narrowboat mod, we can do stuff with that. We can park narrowboats along here willy-nilly, but with a little bit of mucking around, and I'm going to enjoy trying that. We're going to do something with the narrowboats. But look, here we go. Tools, that fella. All right, the towpath, as you can see, is not player-owned, right? So let's just hit the Geo button and watch what happens to that towpath. The AI is absolutely going. Didn't take long. It's converted it to town road, and it's built something across there, and now your canal is stuffed, baby. That's why player ownership. Let's there, yes, tools, that's that one, and let's convert that one, please, so that, I can convert, actually, I'll take those bits, right, so that the AI doesn't do any more to it, but that's enough damage, isn't it? That's why I do these things, because otherwise the route that you'd be able to put in here with your narrowboat mod to move freight, or just to move a narrowboat up and down the canal, I think it might cost you a packet to do it with no freight or whatever, but hang on a second. They need food, right? There's a food factory there, right? And there's a farm right here. There's another farm next to over. Look, I don't... No, hang on. Where's the canal gone, stupid? Sorry. Yes, we were talking canals, weren't we? Here we're... Okay, there's a farm here. There's a farm here near the canal. There's farms up here. You could be taking food backwards and forwards along the canal. You could be taking a stone or whatever. It's there. I only made one little blunder with this. I got the levels wrong. This was all under hill. And unfortunately I got the levels wrong, because up here it's 13 metres and over here it's 18. And locks don't exist in this game. So I've tried to sort of blend it down the 5 metres, and it's the difference happens there. And because there's a mess of roads and bridges and everything else going over there, you probably don't notice it as much. Maybe. All right. Can we go back to water? What? Oh my God, Father! This is why you don't want to let the AI take it over. What happened to that beautiful painted canal, baby? And there was another street through here, I think, just from memory. Yeah, that one. Once the AI had built on it, the initial town, I converted it. All of this was originally player-owned. So I let the town grow a bit, and then I turned it off. And look what it's done. Look, it's done this horrible crap through here. Yeah. Don't like it. Never mind. This map, by the way, GWR country, has a lot of river. Right? An awful lot of river. It's got a whole heap of GWR country town names, like Milking Bank and Over, and it's just not on. Notton. Fifield, Bower Hill. It's actually a real-world map of a certain part of the countryside, which I'm not going to tell you about. See how good you are at guessing where we actually are. Little test you. With portals at each end. The railway lines are these guys. Where are we? Whoops. This fella. Yeah, that. Right. The big wide country road, player owned, is the railway lines that are running through this map. Beautiful little transport hub here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 railway lines merging there, along with the river and the canal. It's going to be fun to play. Right. How's our money going? 296,000. Okay. What was it before? 295? Okay. That's why it's not so bad at 7%. Still $300,000 though. That's an awful lot of money, especially early game to try and find. Right. One more map to go. The one for our collab. Are you ready for it? Oh my God, it's going to be great. What do? Main menu? Yes, alright. Free game, play map, Borderlands. That's that fellow. You've still got some stuff happening. Yeah, well, this is why it isn't a vanilla game. Alright, I'm going to load the statistics one again. Stats. No, stat is ticks. Thank you. Apply. Show you all of the mods that are needed. Not that, and not that. I wish there was a way they... Okay, all LA tools, all the painting tools, because this is actually a dry map that has multiple colours on it. All the colours are being used on the dry sandy surface to get things. Invisible roads, these guys I'm using this time around to show possibly where some railroad could go. We've got a whole heap of new products to play with. This will be a first for both of us. Ham and I have never used all of these extra products, so it's going to be something to get our head around anyway. Okay, and again, I have turned them down at the moment because I did have a go. Basically what this map is there's two halves to it. Ham's going to be playing one side, I'm going to be playing the other. So I did have a go at starting on his side, and then I had a go at starting on my side, and found it difficult. And then went into the map and turned off a lot of the player ownership, and it's not so hard anymore. But wow, we're sitting at 15.9%, which is still, there's so much on this. 15.9%, 110 kilometres. Yeah, there you go, 110 into 3, 186,000 K per period. That's over $3,000 a kilometre. Edge Street. 110, 15.9%. So that's the player ownership. Right. Let's have a little look at the spread, please. Tools and the here. Now, everything inside that green area, I don't want the AI to change, which is why everything in there and on the edge is player owned. So that will always remain green. Okay? This is the main point of interaction between the two halves, between my side of the map and his side of the map, Ham's side. That's the border. The river, up the middle. Yep, this river up here is the border. I've sort of put a dotted line in the middle of it. I don't know whether that's going to stay. We'll see what happens. But basically, you've got player ownership. Where's the player ownership? Okay, I've got player ownership around these fields because I don't want the AI. It's near the town, that town, and this town. I don't want the AI taking over these roads here and building out into the middle of the damn fields. Okay, especially this one, right? I don't want the AI taking... This is the railway line. Let's have a look at the railway line. Narrow. There we go. This is where, with the invisible roads, this is where... Okay. What have you done here? Right, I'm not sure. This isn't showing as an invisible road. Did you stuff that up, Stephen? I think I did. Look. Wow. Well, lucky I looked at that then. Because this is all railway line too. Okay. It's just a suggestion here. It's nothing prescribed. Just a suggestion of where the railway line could go. No, go back to the other one. All right, I will. Keep. All right. All of those blue lines, that's where I think the railway line could go. It's sort of borrowed, with quotation marks, from another existing height map of a real-world area. You work it out if you can. But, yeah. I've changed the names to protect the innocent. But we've got gold, we've got silver, we've got champagne and grapes and champagne over here, and fish, meat, livestock, fruit juice, tobacco, coffee, heaven. That's why they're on my side. Lots of plantations, and lots of canyony type stuff, scrublands, silver mine. Wow! All right, what I love this particular canyon here. I think this one's nice. Up here, wild country, very, very, very wild country. So, Bottlelands coming soon to a YouTuber near you. Gary even makes an appearance. In joke for those in the know from Ham's channel. Yes, Gary makes an appearance over here. What have I done here? I have protected... Okay, so that's where I think the railway line possibly could go. But because they're player owned, that's going to cost money. So are we having a look at how much money? I should have been running it, shouldn't I? There we go. Protecting the reservoir. Okay, there's a reservoir here and a damn fine wall there, right? And by making that player owned and also this road underneath, the AI cannot go up there, right? Cannot build any new roads. And this one along here, they're both country roads, by the way. The AI cannot put a house on that side of that country road. Because I don't think, you might interfere with the engineering of that dam wall if you were to build a house on it at Wattanoobi. Right. Okay, it's not everywhere, as you can see. It's through the middle of nowhere here. It's not player owned, but in through here, I wanted to protect a couple of bits where the rail goes, where that particular road goes. Haven't protected anything over here, and then you get over into Bordertown and deep water, where the railway line goes, or could go. We've sort of reserved a bit of land for the railway, and in particular how it comes across over here and up. Oh, that's something. There's a shipping canal along here that connects the Port Hamburg, right, with the rest of the map. This river, by the way, I don't know what happens to it, but it doesn't flow into the sea anywhere near around here. These are just strangely not connected. There must be a huge sand lake or something there that is just never going to be dredged by these whoever. You make up the story, I don't know. But anyway, so you can see the blue bits here, not even the loop that is in the railway yard there, or potential railway yard there. We've got railway lines come out here and go up, and Fleetwood. Yeah, I've laid out a lot of the towns, and this is just even painted some of this one, industrial area. These are just dirt roads waiting to be taken over. If we go back to the tools, they're not player owned, so the AI is going to be able to grab them and convert them into town streets. But this one here, can't do anything with, right? Dirt, town. So town means it can build on it, but it can't extend with another street. Country road, can't build on it, can't extend. And you can see, when you eventually get your hands onto this map, which will be after a few episodes of Ham and I stuffing it up, you'll see what happens. But I've used, the more I get used to what player ownership can do in controlling development, I mean, I don't really want that guy there, do I? That should be country road all the way through, and not a little piece of city road. And it should be player owned. But yeah, I mean, I've got country road here. I didn't want buildings on the green. That's country road there. No buildings either side. Eventually, as the game moves on and these towns fill up all of these spaces, I'll just convert them back to normal, and the AI will say, put your brain into gear, Stephen. The AI will take it over. But as you can see, we've got a long time to do that. Deep water, border town, borderlands, and here's another AI bit of road, player owned bit of road on the bottom of this magnificent little water catchment reservoir. And don't point out the obvious thing with it, all right? I know water hydraulics and all, the wall would really be curved inwards, not outwards. Yeah, I know. Too bad. Not changing it. Okay, so that's what's happening. Hello? Ooh. That looks potentially, dangerous. I know. Scary possibilities. Ooh, plantations. Yep. All sorts of stuff happening. Anyway, how are we doing with the money? Oh, well, it's cost us money. What's it cost us? Well, it should have cost us, according to my 386,000. Wrong, 391. So, play around roads. $3,000 per kilometre. That's the measure. Can you afford $391,000 every quarter, every accounting period? Remember, I've got this map set at 50% for that and that, which will also run over to here and here, right? In an effort to reduce the impact from this. And now in the early game, that $390,000 or whatever is going to be a little awkward to try and get on top of, especially with horses and carts, even though it's 1880. It'll be a good little challenge for both of us when we start this map. Right. Well, that's all I wanted to say about my maps. They are all currently, the new lot anyway, are now available on Mod.io for console people. It took a while, which was annoying, but never mind. I've got 2 in the pipeline, one which will be available very soon, that's the GWR country, and this particular one here, that's for Ham and me to play with. It's not vanilla. That's because it's got the invisible roads and the extended industries on it. So, and it also won't be on Mod.io because of that. Sorry, guys. I might do it's also got far too many towns and industries on it. I might do a boring, simplified version, maybe. Let's see what happens as time progresses. But in the meantime, that's it from me. So it's hooroo from me. It's goodbye from him and Ham, and we'll all see you next time. Bye.